I have tried so many techniques to fall asleep quickly, particularly between shifts. Now, some were completely rubbish, but others were amazing. And I want to walk you through the ones which worked for me and still continue to work for me so you can start embedding these into your own life and start getting the sleep that you actually deserve quick smart. My first strategy, which is going to sound pretty basic, is to set a trigger for yourself. Now, this can really look however you want, but we need to put something in place that our brain and our body starts to recognize that, hey, we are actually winding down for sleep, and this is the goal we're trying to achieve. Because I know we can get caught up watching another episode of Netflix or finishing that movie. So consider the following options. You can either set an alarm for yourself, either a true traditional alarm clock that I have here, or one on your phone. You can also set a timer on your TV to actually turn off after a certain point. Or you can be like me and utilize the sleep function on your phone, which is similar to Do Not Disturb if you have an Apple iPhone. Or you can utilize a housemate or your partner to keep you accountable to actually go to bed. Next, we need to turn down those lights and start minimizing the amount of blue light that's hitting our eyeballs. Now, our sleep hormone, melatonin, and blue light aren't great mates. So we need to start being kind to it by minimizing the amount of blue light. So how do we do this? You can either start actually dimming the lights in your home or putting blue light blocking globes in your lamps or in any lights around your home. But if you don't have any globes, you can start wearing blue light blocking glasses. Now, if you've watched our other videos on our channel, you will know that I'm a huge fan. Both Dan and I are huge fans of these glasses. Now, I know they look ridiculous if you've never seen them before, but honestly, I swear by them, and we've been wearing them every night for about 5 years. The point of these glasses is they block out that blue light and it starts to send those signals to your sleep hormone that we are actually winding down. Now, I generally keep these on for about 2 hours as I'm winding down for bed, and this includes when I'm brushing my teeth, reading my book in bed, watching TV, or even scrolling my phone, trying to finish Wordle at the end of the day. So I've got heaps of different pairs of these in different varieties. These are from Swanwick Sleep. Highly recommend, and I'll put links to where you can find these glasses below this video. Next is to start enjoying some herbal tea. Now, I like to choose peppermint immediately after a meal and choose chamomile a little bit closer to when I actually want to go to sleep. I used to have a much larger cup than what I do now because I found that I was often running to the bathroom in the middle of the night and found that I'm actually getting equal benefits even just from having a smaller cup. I sip on this chamomile as I'm getting ready for work the next day. So as I'm, ironing my clothes and getting all my things ready for the next day. So therefore, when I actually go into bed, one, I feel calm because I've had the herbal tea, but I'm also relaxed that I know that I'm prepared for the next day. Once we do actually get into bed, I try to minimize the amount of light that's going on. So I turn off this big bedside light and I turn on this little diffuser that we've got from Swanwick Sleep. There is also an even duller setting too if I feel like my brain just needs a little bit of a break. The next thing that I do is pull back the covers and we lay on something called a Shakti mat. Now, I don't know if I'm actually pronouncing that right, but basically it's a bed of nails is what it is sort of called. So as you can see, it looks like little plastic spikes. This is Dan's one, which I struggle to lay on because I think it's too severe. My one's sort of not as bad. You can see the spikes are just a little bit smaller. Now, the whole idea of these, I believe it sort of acts like acupuncture, but it's called acupressure. So it doesn't actually pierce your skin, even though you feel like it is. It tries to increase blood flow to the particular area that you're either laying or standing on it. For us, we lay on it just with a bare back, but you can also stand on it if you've had a big day and your feet are sore. Or I do also have one that is shaped like this, that I put often under my neck, again, as I'm laying flat either on the bed or on the floor. And I think this really helps, particularly if I've got neck pain and I've had terrible posture as I've been on a computer all day. We generally lay on these for about 20 minutes. So we actually set an alarm on our phones so we don't fall asleep on it, which has sometimes happened. It's quite painful when you wake up an hour later. When we're on it, I sometimes even turn off all the lights and I listen to an audio book. So I put some headphones in and listen to my book, or I physically read my book. Why we love these mats is, one, Dan suffers from a bit of back pain and finds that it provides a lot of relief for him. But for me, when I roll off the mat, I get this sort of tingling sensation in my back that is honestly so distracting from the thoughts that are going on in my head. I concentrate on my back, and before I know it, I've fallen asleep. As we're talking about falling to sleep quickly, this is the perfect sleep aid for Dan, because at about the 8 to 10 minute mark, he's already falling asleep. If you are enjoying these tips so far, give us a thumbs up so we can spread the love to more people. Thank you. The next method we have found to be super effective is to utilize a tool or a piece of equipment that makes you feel warm and comfortable. Now, this could be an electric blanket, a weighted blanket, or even something less fancy like a hot water bottle or a heat pack. Now, we love these two methods over the other two because we love getting into a cold bed at night. Now, that might sound creepy to a lot of you who hate the feeling of a cold bed, but I really like it because I think that I get too hot and I just can't sleep. On those nights that it is bitterly cold, I do wear socks to bed. These are the ones that I choose. They're thick, beautiful socks from a company called Body. Highly recommend over potentially an electric blanket if you do find that you're waking up in the middle of the night or even a couple of hours after you do go to sleep, because there could be a temperature problem and you're just getting too hot. Another method you could use to fall asleep quickly is aromatherapy through the use of a diffuser like the one I've got behind me. It can put you in a really nice headspace. I sometimes, if I don't turn on the actual diffuser, I've got things like this sleep mist that I often spray by my pillow for a similar effect. And I find that, look, I don't know if it's actually placebo, to be quite honest, but if I've sprayed it and I like to take a big sniff into my pillow, it helps me fall asleep. Is it in my head? I don't know, but I give it a try and it works for me. The next method I use to help me fall asleep is to physically write my thoughts down, either on a piece of paper or in the notes section of my phone. I use this to just vent to myself sometimes. I could be angry about something or I'm worried about something the next day, but I need to get the thoughts out of my head. Sometimes I lay there and think, I'm going to forget about this. I'm going to forget about it. And then I worry about forgetting about it. And that's what keeps me awake. But I find once it's written on a piece of paper, I can then relax. Now I'd like to finish with a couple of rapid fire tips for you. 1, buy a pillow you absolutely love. We don't replace them very often, so spend some money and make yourself happy every time you lay your head on it. Next, use a sleep mask if light is a problem for you. We highly recommend the Manta sleep mask, as you can see here. Next, I personally don't watch show or movies in bed. I strictly watch them on TV outside of the bedroom. I find if I sit in bed for an hour watching a show, I get way too hot and I can't sleep. During the day, we drink Super Green Tonic, which is full of goodness, and I think it helps us sleep at night. If you're looking for a few more sleep aids that can help you fall asleep quickly, check out this video next. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next shift.